So this is the start of Archery 101. Have you ever wondered how long one of these should be? I'll tell you and I'll explain why. Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com, trying to teach you some basic archery stuff in my 101 category. Standing here next to what feels like a bomb, unfortunately. This is a bow drawn back to full draw and trying to give you a visual explanation of where you want to cut your arrow and why. All right, so traditionally, you would cut your arrow a ½ inch in front of the riser, is what a lot of old school shops are going to do. And that was from a time when your broadhead blade could actually hit in here. Right? Everything built today is more than adequately capable of being cut to where no broadhead blade is going to hit anywhere in here. So from my point of view, there's nothing smarter, and I'm going to come around it real quick. I'm going to be smart about this. There's no reason to not cut it down to a ½ inch in front of your launcher, somewhere in this vicinity, right? And the reason for that is as you make this arrow shorter, you increase its FOC, or forward to center percentage. You'll hear me say that number a lot because it has a lot to do with how well an arrow is going to shoot downrange and how well it's going to affect hitting an object and staying going in the same direction. If you don't have enough mass in the front of your arrow, when you hit an object at an odd angle, it'll deflect more because there's more mass behind than in the front. That's why FOC is important, and it helps a lot in the wind too. But traditionally, cut-wise, anywhere in here is fine, whatever your safety level. Something to think about here when you're cutting this down is if you're ever going to change your draw length, if it's ever going to get longer. Right? If you ever want to lengthen your draw length a ½ inch, well, your arrow's going to come back a ½ inch more, and now all of a sudden it doesn't work. So leave yourself that bit of room if you're ever going to adjust your draw length, or if you're going to go from bow to bow and not want to redo your arrows. Leave yourself a little bit more of a cushion. But personally, I cut my arrows down a ½ inch in front, so that would probably be in front of my launcher blade at draw. So it would probably be right about there is where I would cut them down, as opposed to here, which is where your average old school shop's probably going to cut them down at, like, in this instance, 33 versus, I can't quite read the number. That's 33, 32, 31, like 30 1/4. So that's 2 3/4 inch difference in overall arrow length of what you can use to what you might be using. To give you an idea, an FOC percentage, that's going to do two major things. One, it's going to give you about 2% better FOC immediately, just cutting your arrow off. And two, it's going to make your arrow stiffer. A stiffer arrow, you can put more weight in the front and achieve the same level of tune. So that's why it's so important to actually cut your arrow down to the accurate, correct length. So out here, old school. In here, new school. You decide what's best for you. Head on over to PodiumArcher.com for all those archery needs, where we do cut arrows, and we will make a video of how to use our arrow builder for those of you that just simply want us to do everything for you and not do it yourself. Although I do encourage you to do everything yourself, because at the end of the day, I want you all to be self-sufficient and understand the sport better. Understanding the sport better keeps you in the sport longer, gives us a better chance of retaining people in the industry altogether. So do it yourself, but if you can't, you can use our arrow builder for it. And, oh, by the way, coupon code MFJJ, save you a little money. Make sure you're following along. Comment down below on what other basic 101 questions that you want answered, because I've never really done super simple ones, and I want to do a whole bunch of them, preferably one a week. But I need comments from you guys that have questions that don't know the answers to them, that you can't find an answer to them, that are basic and simple. So let me know. Oh, I should probably point out, this is a nock of an arrow. This is the shaft of an arrow. And this is an insert of an arrow. And we give you a visual on what a broadhead will look like in here. That would be the thought, so it doesn't hit anything. But as you can see, I pull it back here, there's like 3/4 inch all the way around this, as far back as you want to put it. So my ideal is right about there. That's about where I would run it, somewhere in that vicinity. Leave yourself a ½ inch here before any adapter. But that's what it would look like. That's probably what yours looks like. And I always get the concern of, oh, well, my hand's out here. I don't want to cut my finger off. I get that and I understand that. But if your hand's out here, your arrow's got to be that long to not run that risk of hitting that. You're going to cut your arrow 7 inches too long to be safe? Just don't be silly and don't put your finger up there. You'll feel your fletching in field point practice before you'd ever run the risk of hitting your finger on a broadhead blade. So be aware that you'd know if your finger was going to be in the way. So if you don't ever nick yourself with your vanes, you're not going to cut your finger with your broadhead. So don't be afraid. Thanks for watching.